my dear subscribers and viewers, it's me with you again. Today I decided to make this video in my blossoming spring garden for you to see that no coronavirus infection spreading anywhere, wherever it wants, whenever it wants, can stop trees blossoming and birds singing, and to make your lives blossom a little bit with the sights you're going to see in this video, with the sounds you're going to hear, and with the information you're going to get. First of all, I should notice that I am self-isolated, that I do observe the rules of the government imposed lately, and I am isolated in my own house. Some of you may say that it's easy for me to talk about keeping calm and contented in the surroundings and in the situation when we have to isolate ourselves at home. Please stop barking. But I am self-isolated. I'm in my own garden where I am not likely to encounter anyone except for my own family and to hear anyone except for my neighbor's dogs. Well, the second question I wanted to discuss is not my own isolation, but the 4 types of behavior possible in the situation of spreading virus infections. The first type of behavior is strict quarantine imposed by the governments, usually. The second type is strict social distancing. The third type is moderate social distancing. And the fourth type is a reckless type of behavior, when you go wherever you want, whenever you want, and do whatever you want. Scientists say that the first and the last types of behavior are least profitable for curbing the disease, for slowing the speed of spreading of a disease. Because imagine a quarantine, a strict quarantine, when a certain area or district is closed, but people can move inside of that area and outside of that area whenever they want. First of all, you can't stop a city or a town. You can't close a city or a town altogether. You can't stop people coming in and out altogether, because people can't live in that area without food coming in, without medicines coming in, without water coming in. You will have to go in to send someone in to bring food and bring medicines and all the things necessary in the situation. And that person will go out and without any quarantine will move in the area where all the people are healthy. And 99% is that he will start passing the disease to healthy people. The second type of behavior is strict social distancing. When you lock yourself at home and are afraid to go out even when you need, it may lead to unnecessary consequences, not necessarily connected to coronavirus, but to panic attacks and whatever else you can imagine. More than that, social contacts and people falling in and getting well form an amount of people, certain amount of people who stop falling in. And exactly that group of people stops the disease spreading. The third type of behavior is moderate social distancing. When you go out whenever you need, remember, need doesn't mean want. These are 2 different words. I know that this weekend is luring one. You may have a desire to go out to see your friends and to visit places, but don't do that. Moderate social distancing means that you go out when you need. Need what? need food, need medicines, need water. Need is an exact word. The fourth type of behavior is a reckless type of behavior when you go out. Stop barking, please. Sorry. When you go out wherever you want, whenever you want. What happens then? You can imagine yourself. I don't have to explain it to you. You just fall ill and continue spreading, passing the disease to other people, to healthy people, as long as you can move. It will end in everyone, almost everyone, falling in the same time. And the most dangerous thing in that situation is not to fall ill, just to fall ill, but to fall ill at the same time, when all the people fall ill at the same time. Then you may not get the medicine you need, because there will be not enough medicines that are needed in that situation. And that really may lead to the situation when everyone, almost everyone, is dying. This is a dangerous situation. So the measures now imposed are not aimed at defending us from falling ill altogether, but they are aimed at defending us from falling ill all at the same time, all of us. Because doctors will cure us one after another if we fall ill, and that's much easier, and that gives us more chances to get better. The second part of the video will be devoted to emotional state, as usual. How to keep calm and contented when you are locked inside of your house and can't go anywhere. First of all, I want you to think of the things that make you happy. In the morning, get up and think, what things make me happy in life? Then make a list of these things. Try to concentrate on the things you can do when you are isolated. Then, in the evening, try to make a list of things that made you happy this day, exactly this day. From the morning till the evening, small things. Perhaps it's looking out of the window and seeing a blossoming tree. Perhaps it's talking to your husband. Perhaps it's a phone call to your parents. Perhaps it's reading a book. Perhaps it's seeing a like in a social network. Why not? Notice even the smallest things that make you happy. And I wish that your second list would be larger than the first one. If you have 20 points in the first list, I wish you to have at least 30 in the second one, in your evening list. Why should we do that? It will help us to notice the smallest things that make us happy. And big happiness is formed by small things that make us happy. Remember that. The second advice, my advice to you would be to do 2 things a day that you like and 1 thing a day that you should. That proportion will make you feel contented and calm. First of all, you will feel happy doing things that you like, and then you will feel happy doing things that you should. that you perhaps don't like, but you should. And your box, your huge box of must do, will get emptier day by day. And that will make you feel that you have some kind of control of the situation. And that will make you happy. Don't make lists of things that you should do, but you don't like. Just mix. If you do only things that you should do, that makes you depressed. You are, I suppose, in a bad mood without that already being isolated for a lot of days. So keep balance. 2 things that you really like and only 1 thing that you don't like a day. Another thing, the third advice from me, would be to use your imagination. A friend of mine calls me yesterday and tells that she's depressed because of being locked in her own flat, 1-room flat, imagine that, without any possibility of going out and seeing only her husband. And she said to me, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I'm depressed. I don't like the situation. I just frustrated. And I was just shocked by her thoughts like that. Just because the evening before, an editor called me and said, well, you are leader of a creative group in literature, and you know a lot of people. Would you name anyone who is ready to be published already, who is a good author, good enough to be published? Whose works would you appreciate most? And I told that she's the one. And he said, well, I will contact her. To tell you the truth, she writes fascinating stories for children, fairy tales. They are like other world, an opposite to the present one. And being such a great author, being ready to be published, to my opinion, she finds time to be depressed. Can you imagine that? She should use that time to promote herself as an author, to work on her fairy tales, work harder maybe than before, and she will find pleasure in that. And the next day, today in the morning, she called me and said, well, I finished another fairy tale. Can you imagine that? It goes la 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 la. And that was really interesting, and no signs of depression. Try to think and use your imagination to keep your emotional state better, in a good state, and keep healthy and calm, and everything will be well, and we will all get through that situation. But how we will get through that situation depends only on ourselves. See you next time. Yours, Wise Life.